Good day, this is Dennise Williams, your host of Financially Focused, and our purpose is to help guide you to become that action taker, that go-getter, and build your financial table to have 4 strong legs. Leg number 1, building your income streams and continuing education is a big part of making sure your income grows. The second leg of our financial table is building families, protection through insurance and debt reduction. The third leg of our very strong financial table is building your mindset and expanding your opportunities. And again, continuing education is huge. And the fourth and final leg of our very, very strong financial table is building your long-term dreams and goals. So that said, on the theme of continuing education as a huge investment that you can make to have that strong financial table, we have principal of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus, Kevin Powell. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dennise. It's a pleasure being here.
Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Now, we want you to kind of really take us on a journey and help us to understand why making an investment in yourself is huge. The program is really about talking about various types of investment, insurance, debt elimination, the various things. Mm-hmm. However, I think a lot of people are sort of waiting on the company to educate them. Yeah, no. So let's just talk about why is it important to invest, particularly as the financial markets move, where cryptocurrency, memes, stocks, fintech, fractional investing. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Rapid fire movement. Why is it important?
So you mentioned the tables and the legs of the tables, and I like that analogy that you used earlier, because these tables cannot stand unless you are trained. And so, as you mentioned, investing in your education, investing in training is the best and yields the greatest dividend one can expect. We look at various stocks and IPOs that we buy into, but we neglect the most important, part of the investment portfolio asset, which is of course yourself. And it's important to invest in education and training, especially within the financial industry, because we're living in an evolving society, an evolving world. What used to make sense 10 years ago no longer makes sense today. Knowledge is changing. And so you have to stay on top of that. And you stay on top of that by being the lifelong learner that you are, right? We are by our nature learners. We love to soak information. And so when you invest in financial education, financial training, of course, you're going to do it through the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus. Yes, you're going to yield the benefit of and the dividends of greater financial information to make sounder financial decisions and investment decisions, because again, the landscape of life is changing. 2 years or a few years ago, nobody knew or cared about AI. Now I'm writing a course now, or I've written a course about the new CFO, AI, formulating and helping us to make financial decisions as the CFO of a company. And so it is important that every single person listening, whether you are a corporate professional or you just want to know more about finances, you need to invest in training and education. That's the only way that the legs of the table will stand firmly, Dennise.
All right, I'm going to throw some controversy your way. Yes. I have a disability. I'm older. I'm afraid that, what the company wants is me to go because I'm an older employee. They don't really want me around. Or I'm disabled.
Yes.
I can't really compete like everybody else. What do you say to those two unique challenges?
So Dennise, you're speaking with a person living with a disability.
Okay.
Yes, I have arthrogryposis congenita disorder.
What is that? State again?
Arthrogryposis.
Oh.
It's a condition that affects the joints of my legs.
Okay.
Yes. So it makes it a little bit more difficult than the ordinary person, the able-bodied person, to move around without the use of crutches. So I use crutches to walk and to get around. But Dennise, from very early, I was taught that because of the limitation that I have, I call it a limitation sometimes, because of this limitation, because of my disability, that I need to ensure that I'm educationally strengthened. Yes, so it behooves anyone with a disability or anybody who thinks that they are now, they're at the point of their life where they probably think they are going to become obsolete or of no value. This is the exact reason why you need to invest in training and education, because nothing, you can be limited through movement and age, but you see that mental acumen, that mental strength and tenacity to be anything you want to be. Education is the vehicle through which you're going to do that. And so at the eCampus, we value, and place prime and premium value on training anyone who wants to learn. Whether you are disabled, abled, old, young, we believe in the value of training, the value of an educated market. We say, our managing director talks about the education of the market is what is going to drive the market to success. And so we believe that once the market is trained, once the market is educated, and the market involves everyone, those who are able-bodied and those who are disabled, they have a space and a play within the market. And so training is for them. So we believe at the eCampus that when we offer our training products through our learning platform, which is quite accessible, whether you are visually impaired, you have a physical disability, it doesn't matter. Whether you are moving out into the corporate and you're perhaps at the age of retirement, it doesn't matter. There are training products for anyone who wishes to learn at the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus.
So what about somebody with a bad attitude?
A bad attitude. What do you mean by a bad attitude? Like, you're a procrastinator, perhaps. You see, that's a good question and a good point, because we do have courses tailored, so packaged for the learner who says to himself, all right, I don't think I want to take up the book or go on the website today. I might go tomorrow. We have courses which allow you to learn at your own pace. Digitized courses. So that when you feel the vibe, perhaps, to go and educate yourself, we offer you the opportunity So
you thought about everybody?
We thought about everybody because we know the importance, Dennise, of ensuring that an educated market is a successful market.
Okay. Now, one of the things about an educated market is to understand the trends. We brush past them in terms of blockchain and fintech, but I think one of the big trends is data protection and AI.
Listen.
Are there more? Tell me.
You're spot on. We're living in a regulatory-rich environment now, where regulation is the order of the day. And so companies are really big on looking at anything compliance-related, regulatory-related. So you talk about data protection. Data privacy, data protection is the buzzword, especially in the local buzzword in Jamaica. Since the year has started, we have done so many courses and training in data protection because we see where the landscape, the market is asking and demanding that their workers, their staff become more compliant with the regulation of public data protection, anti-money laundering, risk management, because these are risks that you have to mitigate, and you can only mitigate against these risks through training. And so let me introduce you to the postgraduate diploma in compliance and information governance at the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus, geared towards ensuring that all staff members within any corporate entity becomes trained and sensitized and certified, really, and in mitigating those risks of non-compliance, data protection, anti-money laundering, enterprise risk management. These are areas where we see companies are moving towards. But you talk about trends now, like we spoke about it earlier, AI, artificial intelligence is the new thing that we need to put our pulse on. So for 2 years straight, the eCampus has done workshops and sensitization sessions on looking at AI and how AI can revolutionize the business model Yes, we're talking about the new CEO. How does the CEO operate within the framework and paradigm of artificial intelligence? How can we use AI to enhance productivity, efficiency within the business, thereby, of course, looking at, expanding your bottom line. So these are trends that we're saying, listen, entities, companies, professionals, individuals need to become aware of. And you can only become aware of this through training and educating yourself. And of course, the eCampus is where all of this is happening.
All right. So, okay, I like the controversy. So all that is well and good. Mm-hmm. But what happened when I decide to migrate and I have put all of this time and energy in your program?
Yes.
I have to go and start all over again.
Well, that's a reality that many persons who migrate have to face. Mm-hmm. But here's what. You are already 10 steps of the game because you already have the knowledge. And of course, I want to also say that most of our certification at the eCampus are transferable as well. The skills, the knowledge is transferable. The certification is transferable because, of course, we have seen alignment and we see the value of partnering. And so we do partner at the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus with players in the international market, for example, the Canadian Securities Institute.
Also, I'm getting certified by Canada.
You're getting certified by Canada.
Are you telling me where to go?
We're joining and partnering with institutions.
Are you telling me where to migrate?
I am winking at you. I'm not telling you anything, Dennise, but I'm just saying we see we understand too at the eCampus, the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus, that we are operating within a global space. Our strategic initiative involves, making sure that we expand regionally and internationally. And a part of this expansion involves partnering with bodies and institutions that have, established themselves already. So that when our students come to us, they are getting, credible global certification as well.
So I'm investing in global certification.
Yes.
So that if I take up my bag, I'm good.
And decide, and we don't want it to leave.
You don't want me to
leave. Just in the event that you have to,
yes,
you understand too that you would not have wasted your investment in trading and certifying yourself at the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus.
Tell me about mentorship. What are your views on it? I mean, how has it helped your career? Mm-hmm. And if I invest in continuing education by myself,
yes,
what role does mentorship play in that?
Mentorship is an important part of the learning process. We learn formally and informally through, in various ways. And so while we offer the formal kind of training and education here at the eCampus, we do understand too that mentorship is an important part of that process.
And do the instructors ever do that?
And so the instructors that we have, I'm glad you talk about that because our value proposition, Dennise,
yes,
is that our instructors are industry-led professionals. Mm-hmm. They are top of class in their game, in their field. So who better to advise and to mentor our young clients and students and working professionals than the executives that train and facilitate the training through the eCampus. I am blessed to be mentored by a wonderful visionary leader called Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, who as a leader,
yes,
has imparted so much nuggets in me,
yes,
to ensure that I lead my team and lead the campus through the landscape of financial education. And so I do believe that mentorship is important, and at the Stock Exchange eCampus, we believe that we ask and encourage our faculty members not just to train and teach people in the theory, but mentor as well, because the legacy has to be passed on.
Wow.
And so we believe strongly in that.
All right. So in your mind, walk me through, I'm going to call eCampus. I'm going to say, listen, I'm a nurse, but now I want to work in the financial,
yes,
services sector.
Yes.
I have zero experience.
Indeed.
Right? Walk me through the journey that eCampus can take me through in this transition from being a nurse,
yes,
to being someone in financial sector.
It's an interesting question you ask, because the genesis of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus started because of this kind of visionary leadership of helping persons who had no formal training or qualification in the field of financial service management our MD, Dr. Martin Street Forrest, the visionary, as I spoke about her
Yes,
earlier,
absolutely.
saw that there was a gap there. There was a need there. And so our flagship program, the Postgraduate in Financial Service Management, an accredited certification from the UCJ, yes?
The UCJ being the
University Council of Jamaica, an accredited program, offers that kind of niche for the person who wants to transition from nursing, from perhaps working in finance but having no formal training in finance. This postgraduate diploma is the right training for you here at the eCampus, because it does allow you to get your feet wet in that financial market
And
education.
how long is this program?
It's an 18-month program. 14 modules. The courses are 4 to 6 weeks in length. So we do it in rapid succession, and you get you do your final exam. You're taught by industry-led professionals, and of course there is also a capstone project that you do at the end, just to show that you know what you're doing. Because as I said in a previous interview, we are making sure that you are a desk-ready operand at the end of
So I can leave from being a nurse, a farmer,
yes,
a truck driver,
yes,
and at the end of the 18 months,
yes,
you say I'm desk
you're
ready.
desk ready.
I can go and work in a bank.
From day one, you become a desk. We call it the desk ready operand. Yes, because it means you are able to go and operationalize the learning that you would have received at the eCampus. Why? Because we're not just going to be using theoreticians and scholars in their field. Of course, they are scholars, but they are people who too are experienced in the industry. They know what's happening on the ground. They know they're out. They're busy. They're outing fires. So when the fires begin, they can tell you exactly what to do to out these fires and to operate within the space of the financial industry. So we pride ourselves in that. And but separate and apart from that too, we also offer courses that are so designed for the ordinary person who knows nothing about the financial and capital markets. The ABCs of the stock market, for example, our Caribbean securities course, yes, our introduction to financial statements, how to analyze a financial report or a financial statements. These are courses that we have designed for the lay person, the ordinary business professional who perhaps have no foundation at all in finance but want to transition into the field. We give them the opportunity to do that here at the eCampus.
Okay, so let's go a little deeper. I'm in the financial sector, but I don't want to be a teller anymore. I want to step up.
Yes. So
how do you help? I call Principal Powell. How can you help me? I call you on the phone.
So again, there are different courses that we offer. Another of our very strong programs that we offer is called a postgraduate certificate in corporate governance, the Director's Guide for Strategic Corporate Governance. So for those persons who are looking to advance their career they're already in the finance, but you want to segue into the area of governance, in the area of risk management. There are ways and tools and courses and products that we have so designed to help you transition. So we have our courses in corporate governance training. We have courses in compliance. You take our compliance and information governance training module, and you find yourself being trained and certified in courses like anti-money laundering, data protection, information governance, enterprise risk management. These are some of the courses that we offer that will help you to transition into other areas within the financial industry. You don't have to be a teller all the days of your life, Dennise.
All right, thank you. Now, saying all of that, what is your definition of success for persons who take a program 18 months, 6 weeks, regardless? Give me an idea, because as a school principal, I know you're proud of what you do every day.
Yes.
Tell me what success looks like.
So success looks like, in my metrics and measurement book, success for me is when a student comes to us with a goal of either a career shift, a goal of self-improvement, a goal of just kind of learning more about the market, when that goal has been realized. When a student comes back to us to say, Sir P, I didn't know anything. And when we go on our recruitment tours, Dennise, we hear a lot of people saying, I would love to learn more about the stock market. I see that the stock market is doing well. I know that you guys are the top performing stock market in the world on two different occasions, but I don't know about investment. And when they come to us and they're able to go through one of our training courses, and then they come out of it enlivened and enlightened about now how to invest and what to look for, how to manage their portfolio, how to what stocks to buy, that for me, it gets a sense of gratitude. And that what they do then is they pass on the legacy of information to another generation of hungry persons who are hungry for knowledge. And then, of course, that only redounds to the benefit of Jamaica at the end of the day.
All right. I'm going to ask you now, put on your crystal ball hat to see in the future. Tell me about the next 5 to 10 years in terms of what financial education will look like and the demands on the employee on a day-to-day, or are we all at home chilling out because AI has taken care of everything? Are we all on the beach?
Yes. So
are you on the beach?
I wish I was, but you're right. AI is here to revolutionize many industries. The financial industry will not escape the revolutionization of coming from AI. But of course, I'm not one of those skeptics who will say, wow, AI will take over everybody's job, because of course, it's called artificial intelligence for a reason. The intelligence is going to be needed, and intelligence comes primarily through human interaction. And so we're still going to need trained professionals to tell AI what to do, because I think AI can't operate without us, you see. It's going to be that symbiotic relationship between AI and humans. So we do need trained individuals to stay on top of the game as well. And so trading will always be a part of that game. But what do I see the trend in education and financial education and training? That looks like a full access points where people can access training from wherever they are. And at the eCampus, we are versed with that. We are seized with that kind of futuristic trend. And so what we're doing now is that we're digitizing more of our courses. We're ensuring that we remove all the barriers to access to training and education. So if time was a barrier where at the end of a work day, you go home and you want to relax on the beach and still learn about financial products and services, you can do so. We want to ensure that when you go to your vacation in Dubai, Dennise, you can still have access to our training products. When you're in church and your pastor talking about financial literacy and the value of tithing and paying, making your contributions to the kingdom, you can still access our training products.
We should do training in church? We should
do training in church.
No, I mean, we should listen to the training while in church or listen to the pastor.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm making you know that the space.
Okay.
The space. Churches now have financial programs and workshops to their members. Listen to the pastor, Dennise, make sure you say amen, and that the amen is a legitimate amen, because you would have been listening to what the pastor is saying. But we're just saying that there is going to be a democratization, I call it, of education and information, and we have to stay on top of that as an institution, because that's where the trend is going. Nobody has a monopoly on training and information anymore, and so we have to ensure that our products and services are credible, are certified, are fit for purpose, are relevant, but at the end of the day too are accessible.
Wow. That was fun.
Yes.
Wow, your energy is amazing, and I know that redounds to the students. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow. So, financial education, general education. We love to talk about building your financial table here on Financially Focused. And one of the best things to do is invest in yourself. We have been joined by Principal Kevin Powell of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus. And I hope that you can decide to check out how you can grow. We'd love to help you. So we're encouraging you to visit our website, www.financiallyfocusedmedia.com. My name is Dennise Williams, your host, and I'll see you next time.